Let's have a quick round of introductions so that we understand each other. Well, let me introduce myself. Myself, I'm Venu. I have around 15 years of experience into the field of HR. Where I've started my career as HR executive for a manufacturing industry, then moved to SAP HCM implementations. I've upgraded my skills and moved to SuccessFactors, and it's been like 9 years that I'm into SuccessFactors. And in these 9 years, I've handled modules like Employee Central, Compensation, Recruiting, and Performance Management. Though I've worked on all of these modules, I spent my most of my time in Employee Central and Compensation areas. Coming to teaching, I am into teaching from last 12 years. I used to train SAP HCM earlier. Then after getting into SuccessFactors from last 6-7 years, I'm into training SuccessFactors as well. I train on both Employee Central and Compensation modules. That's brief about me. So I would request one of you to start introduction, then we'll move to the actual demo.
Uh, Hi, sir.
Hi,
So
Sagar.
myself, Sagar. I am from Delhi, and right now I'm working as a global recruitment consultant. And I have a educational background of like I have done my undergraduation in computer science, and later on I shifted to MBA. And right now, from past 1.6 years, I am working as a global recruitment consultant for my firm. That's about me. Thank you.
Yeah, good to know that, Sagar.
Hello, Venu.
Monica.
This is Monica.
Yeah, hi, Monica.
I've done my MBA with HR specialization in the year 2014. Due to some personal reasons, I couldn't work. So I don't have any work experience, but I just wanted to start my career. So I'm just trying to do some course that is Success Factors.
Okay, Monica.
That's about.
Yeah, thank you. Nomita.
Hello, good morning, sir. This is Nomita from Pune. I have completed my MBA in HR. Wanted to pursue a career in IT, so thought of doing Success Factor. Currently working as an HR in a school HR department. That's all about me.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so firstly, we'll be starting the regular sessions after Pongal. Okay, that is any time in the next week. Okay, you'll be keep informed about the schedule. Yeah, since none of you have experience into IT, let me explain you how that works in IT, how or what we do in success factors, why one should go with success factors, what are the advantages of learning success factors. So those things we'll discuss in detail. Okay, now some of you doesn't have experience into HR domain also. So it is there is no prerequisite that you should have IT knowledge or you should have no you should be working in one of the organization or you should have HR experience. But at least if you have the process knowledge, yes, you can understand easily. Success factors is a functional module. When I say functional module, it doesn't include any coding part. You don't have to write code or you don't have to do any technical things here. We will be configuring the system for a customer. So that would be easy. Okay. But it is recommended to have a process knowledge, like what do we do when we hire an employee? What do we do for transfers? How do we promote an employee? What happens when you terminate an employee? Or how does the recruiting process goes on? What information do we gather while hiring the candidate? So all of this information you should know. So if you have this knowledge, it helps you to understand the configuration as well. Okay, so that's why I recommend to have some knowledge into the HR. Okay, but again, this is not mandatory. We can still covering all of these areas while configuring the system. Okay, the screen what you see now is a success factor screen. Success factors is a HXM cloud application. HXM meaning human experience management. Okay, so we have many products in the market for HR. Okay, and SuccessFactors is one of the leading application uh, which is being used by most of the organizations. Okay, so let me walk you through this PPT. So what do you know about the cloud computing? So you must have gone through uh, some of the presentations or some of the notes on the Google, or you must have explored some things, right? So SuccessFactors is a cloud computing application. So what do you mean by cloud computing application? How does it differ from other applications? Any idea?
In the cloud, we don't need an internal storage kind of thing. Some of the data centers, the data is stored over there.
Hmm. For cloud computing applications, we don't need any internal storage. We definitely need storage, but we don't store the data in-house. Okay, meaning I'll give you a simple example. So all of you must have the Gmail. Okay, sign up to Gmail, right? So when you sign up to Gmail, you get G Drive access as well, Google Drive access as well, right? Have you used Google Drive?
Yes, sir.
So what is it functionality? What do we use the Google Drive for?
To back up data,
Yeah,
files.
to back up data. So let's say you're using Google Drive in your mobile. If some files are to be moved to your drive, where no you want to access these files from some other system, what you'll do, you'll copy all of your files from mobile to Google Drive. So the advantage of moving or saving the files into your drive is they are accessible from any corner of the world. Tomorrow you don't have your mobile with you, you're out of country or you're out of continent, you want to access the files, yes, you'll still be able to do that. How do we do that? So just log into your Gmail or Google Drive, open your files from there. Only thing that you need is the internet, right? That means you can access your files from any corner of the world without having no your physical devices. So that's the advantage of drive or advantage of saving the files into drive or a cloud. So where exactly is this drive? Now, when you're moving or copying your files into your drive, somewhere these files are getting saved. Somewhere some data or some no, storage is happening, and this is in the cloud. So if you look at the definition of cloud computing, it says the practice of using network of remote servers hosted on internet to store, process and manage the data rather than a local server or a personal computer. Okay, so what we do here is any application that we work on. So we need the infrastructure. The first thing that we need is the infrastructure. That means now I want to use an application. It could be anything. It could be any application. Let's take an example of WhatsApp, or let's say I want to install a game in my mobile. So what is the first thing that we need? We need to have the enough space. We should have that space to install that application, right? So system checks whether you have enough space in your mobile before you download that application. And then second is the platform in which the application is built. Now, if you want to download some applications related to your Android, so you'll go to Play Store. So if you are using iPhone, you'll have to go to App Store. Why? Because these two are two different platforms. So Apple phones, they are built on iOS, right? and the other phones, they are built on Android platform. So we have the similar application. So you will see a WhatsApp application in Android phones and also in iPhones. So difference is maybe the look and feel bit different because of the platform on which they are built. And the third is the application, the final application. What is that application that you want to use? Is it a gaming application? Is it a social networking like Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on? Okay. So what is the type of application that you want to use? So depending on these three layers, so we have the cloud computing models divided into three. First one is infrastructure as a service, which is IaaS, where if customer wants to have only infrastructure, some customers may say that I just need the server. So servers are very expensive. If you want to procure your own servers, it it is very expensive. You'll have to spend a lot of money on the servers, right? So instead of procuring the servers, what you can do is you want to use the space, so you can subscribe for the infrastructure as a service. The cloud service models where they provide the infrastructure. So you subscribe for that space, you want to use it for 5 years, you just pay the subscription for that 5 years or 3 years or 10 years. Now, tomorrow, if you feel that you don't want to use that server anymore, you can unsubscribe. So that that way, you're not paying the huge amounts on procuring. And the second is the platform as a service. Now, in the platform as a service, you need both infrastructure and you need a platform. Now, if you're using infrastructure as a service and you want to build an application, so you should go to one of the platform. In the platform as a service, again, you will be subscribing for the required platform. And the third is the software as a service, SaaS, where you'll be getting all infrastructure platform and a software, the ready to use software. Just subscribe for that software and start using it. And the examples of these are the AWS, Amazon Web Services, or VMware. So examples of IaaS infrastructure. And for platform as a service, you have Azure, you have Force.com, on which the Salesforce is built. We have SuccessFactors, Workday in software as a service. So what are the advantages of having the cloud computing application? Now, the SuccessFactors or the Workday or Salesforce, all of these applications, what you're talking, these are the software as a service application. That means these are readily available products in the market where you subscribe and start using the application. So why should one go with any of these cloud computing applications? Why not the application that is to be installed or controlled from the on-premise? The first thing is the productivity anywhere. Like as I said, we can log into these applications from any corner of the world. Maybe you're located in India and you want to access the data of the employee sitting in US, or tomorrow you're traveling somewhere and you want to access your data from other country. You can still be able to do that. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so that's the productivity anywhere. You can access the application from any corner of the world. Offsite data storage, you're not storing the data within your premises. If you're using on-premise applications like SAP HR or Oracle, you need to have your own servers. First thing, you have to procure your servers. You should have a dedicated space for your servers. You should have a dedicated team looking after those servers. Okay, but in case of cloud computing application, the data is stored somewhere in the cloud. So you don't see those servers physically, you don't need that space. And There's no IT maintenance cost. You don't have to hire some IT people to look after your servers because it is stored somewhere in the cloud and this doesn't exist physically. Disaster assistance, meaning if something happens to your server, let's say you're using on-premise application and if something happens to your server, it is your responsibility to fix it, your IT team's responsibility to fix it. But in case of cloud computing, you don't have to worry about the disasters. It would be taken care by cloud service provider. And it is always up. You can use these applications for 365 days, 24/7. Okay, no downtime required. And lower cost of ownership, obviously, because we are not procuring servers, we are not dedicating any space, we are not hiring any IT people. The cost that we spend on these cloud computing applications are very less when compared to the on-premise applications. And then these are easily upgraded. So every application that we use needs some kind of upgrades. Now, if you look at your WhatsApp application or a Facebook application, which we use in our daily life, these were not the same when they were first introduced. We didn't have these many features. We didn't have option to sending an attachment or sending money through WhatsApp. Now we can do all of those things. So how did they do? Initially, they have started the application with some functionalities, and later, as in time comes, now they have added the new functionalities, grouping the people or sending some kind of attachment, sending a document, sending a picture, sending a video. So we have all of these features now, and these were not deployed in one go. So every 6 months, 1 year, when they upgrade, so we see some new functionalities coming in. The same with the SuccessFactors application or any cloud computing applications. These are upgraded, and whenever the upgrades happen, we will see some new features coming into the system. Okay, any doubts so far?
No, sir.
No. What is a
No.
SuccessFactors application? What do we do in SuccessFactors? SuccessFactors is a cloud computing HXM application which is used by the organizations for their employees and HRs. It is mostly used by the HRs or the employees of the organization. So when you join any organization, you'll be given some application, okay, where you'll be logging in and you'll see that the application has got all of your information. Whatever information that HR has collected while hiring you. Let's say I'm an employee working for some organization. Let's say I'm working for Coke or I'm working for a PepsiCo. Okay. So when I'm hired, so they must have collected some information about my personal information, my contact information, or my address information, or my dependent details, and so on. And SuccessFactors must, HR must have added some organizational information like the department that I am working in, the company or a location that I am based at, the number of working hours that I'll be working, the salary, what is to be paid. So all of this information is stored in SuccessFactors, and when I am hired, I can log into this application and see all of these details. So tomorrow, if I have to apply a leave, or if I have to download a payslip, or if I have to update my address, or if I have to update my dependent details, as an employee, I can do that. So where are you doing it? We're doing it in SuccessFactors application as an employee. What a HR does when they log into SuccessFactors application, apart from their own information, they'll also use this application for hiring the employees, for terminating employees, for transferring the employees, for promoting the employees. That means all of the employee data is maintained in the system. And as and when required, if you need some information from system, yes, we can pull out that as well. So we have many modules in SuccessFactors, and the core being the Employee Central. So what do we do in Employee Central is we maintain all of this master data, this personal information or job information or comp information. All of this information is stored in Employee Central. And this data, what we store in Employee Central, is used by the various modules of SuccessFactors. Like you have different modules like performance management, performance and goals management, which is called PMGM, used for appraisals. We have recruiting and onboarding for sourcing the candidates. We have compensation to review the salaries of the employees. We have learning management system, LMS, is used for training the employees. Succession management, JAM for social collaboration, analytics for reporting. So all of these modules are available within SuccessFactors, and all of these modules need the information, the master data. So that data is in Employee Central. So that's why if you look at this picture, it is the base of SuccessFactors. Employee Central is the base of the SuccessFactors because all of the data that these modules need are coming from Employee Central. And once you have the changes made in any of these modules, again, the data flows back to Employee Central. If I have to process a payroll of the employee, I should know what are the salary details of the employee, what are the components that are to be processed for this employee, how frequently we have to process, what is the designation of the employee, which location the employee is in. If I have to process the insurance for this employee, who are the dependents, whether the employee is married or what is the marital status, I should know all of this information. So we store this data in Employee Central. Okay, so that's your Employee Central. We use it to maintain the employees' information as well as the organizational information of the employee. It manages all the employees' life events like when was the employee hired, what was the salary when we hired this employee, when is the employee transferred, when was the employee promoted, what was the salary before promotion or after promotion. So all of this data is stored in Employee Central. If you see this picture, the data flows from Employee Central to other modules, and system also takes back the data from other modules. Now, if I have to hire an employee, I should know what are the vacant positions in the organization. These vacant positions are converted into requisitions. These requisitions are posted in the job portals. Candidate starts applying to these jobs. And then recruiter sources the candidates by interviewing those candidates. They offer the candidate, they negotiate and offer the candidate. Once the candidate accepts the offer letter, the candidate is to be hired. So all of the information that we have collected in the recruiting process is available in the system. So we pull all of the data while hiring the candidate. That candidate is again hired onto those vacant positions of Employee Central. So that's the process of a simple process or an example of how the data flows from one module to other module. Any doubts here?
No.
No,
So
no,
what do,
sir.
so what do we do as a consultant? So once you learn SuccessFactors Employee Central module, what do we do? So what roles can we apply for? We can apply for SuccessFactors consultant. What does a consultant do? Consultant understands the requirements of the customer. We understand the requirements of the customer and configure it as per customer's needs. Now, SuccessFactors application is a global product which contains lots of features, many features, many fields. Now, all of this may not be required for all customers. So we'll have to understand what is required for the customer, and we enable those things by configuring the system. And we'll not be doing any kind of coding here because the product is already developed. We are not doing any kind of developments. We can configure or customize the application as per customer needs. Okay, so the course content, the basically SuccessFactors employee to learn SuccessFactors Employee Central, uh, we need around 25 sessions. So the course content is built in such a way that with all the areas of Employee Central are covered, and we'll be covering this course content in 25 sessions. And I say 25 sessions, it's 1 hour every day. So weekly 5 hours of sessions. Will be taking 5 hours of sessions Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday would be a holiday. First 4 sessions would be completely of theoretical part, like what is success factors, what is certification, how to do certification, what are the important URLs that you should know. So all of these things will be knowing in first 4 sessions. This is theoretical part. And then from fifth session onwards, we'll be moving into the practical part, and rest of the 2021 sessions are on completely on the practical part. All of you will be given access to system, which can be accessed again from anywhere 24/7. So every day we'll be talking about some topics, and we'll be taking some topic and then configure that in the system. We discuss different scenarios and then how to configure those scenarios in the system. So I'll be giving you homework, go back, configure, test, and then come back with your doubts. Then we discuss or we clarify your doubts, and then we continue with the new topic. This is how the session goes on. Okay, so we'll be sharing you all the recorded videos. We'll be sharing you all the necessary material with you. We'll be helping you out to clear your certification. We'll be helping you out in your resume preparation. Okay, so I'll be sharing you this course content. You can go through the content, and I'll pause here and see if you have any questions related to the training.
So, do we get any certification after completing this like learning thing?
See, certification, it's not some institute who gives you the certification. So success factors is a product of SAP. SAP has a process of certifying the candidates. So if you need a certification, you need to log into one of the uh, portals, official portals of SAP, subscribe there and do the certification. I'll be talking about the certification. How do we do the certification? So there are certifications for each module. So after learning these modules, you can go subscribe and then do the certification. That exam is given by SAP. You'll have to clear that examination. So even if we give some certification that you have learned success factors application, that is of no use. You need the certification from SAP.
So one more thing, like as you said, like after the 4 sessions, there would be some practical knowledge, right? The configuration and the other things.
Yes.
So that knowledge will be something like that we will be doing as a SAP consultant when we will be hired
Yes.
for any organization, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So let's say
So I have a
we
question.
want. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Venu.
Uh, is
Kiran
it
here.
mandatory to
One,
have
one at a time. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
please
ahead.
go ahead.
Is it mandatory to have?
a certification to be
Yes.
working as a SAP consultant?
Every aspirant who want to get into success factors should have the active certification in one of the modules of success factors. The first thing that your interviewer asks you is whether you have certification or not. Okay, so why do we need certification? What is the use of certification? That we'll discuss.
Perfect.
Okay. Hmm. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kiran.
Venu. Hi, Kiran here. Venu, thing is, why people choose success factor? I know because there are other modules in the market like work day and everything. But why
Workday.
people choose success
Exactly.
factors? Yes.
Yeah. Success factors, there are many reasons. Like success factors is a product of SAP. All the customers who are already using SAP, the major share or major companies, the big companies across the globe are using SAP for their ERP. Okay, as their ERP. And success factors is a product of since success factors is a product of SAP. So people are moving from SAP HR to success factors. That's one reason. Okay. And the other reason, if a customer is not using SAP, but still they can go with SuccessFactors application, this because this can also be implemented as no software as a service. You don't need the backend as SAP. You can still go with SuccessFactors application. It can be integrated with any third-party systems. Okay. And the third is it is very easy to implement, very easy to use when compared to other applications. It's a global product which has got all of the functionalities or the features available in the product. Now, if there are many local products. Now, if you're in India or if you're in US, there are many local products which are available, but they are not providing you all of the services in it. Now, there are some products like CSOD, okay, cornerstone on demand, which is only used for your learning. There's an application called work human, which is only used for performance management. So we have applications specific to area, and there are very few in the market who provides you the entire list of modules, like talent modules like recruiting, performance management, then your succession, compensation, learning, Employee Central, time off, and payroll, and all of these modules. Now, SuccessFactors has got all of these modules. It is very easy to use. Now, look and feel wise, it is much better than any other application. Okay, there are upgrades which happens every 6 months, and they are keep on improving the product functionalities because
Okay.
it is a
Thank you very
global application which is being used across the globe. Now, Workday is a competitor for SuccessFactors. Now, if you look at, I'll give you a simple example. So, if I ask you what is your favorite drink, so what will you say? Now, when I say a drink, it is a aerated drinks like Pepsi, Thumbs Up, and so on. So you have both Pepsi and Thumbs Up, Pepsi, Thumbs Up, and Coca-Cola. There are people who likes Thumbs Up, people who likes Coke, people who likes Pepsi. So all these three products looks similar, right? Dark in color.
much. Yes. 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 Same
So
colors.
maybe the taste also similar, but you'll see some difference. Some flavors are different in each of these drinks, and
Agree.
everybody's taste buds are different, right? Some people may say that no, I like no Pepsi, I don't like Coke, or I don't like Thumbs Up, and some may say that I like Thumbs Up, I don't like Pepsi. So maybe we have the similar functionalities in it, but because of the taste buds, different people's different taste buds. So some people like this and some people like that. Similar thing in success factors also, depending on the needs. Now, what functionalities it is offering, whether I need all of that or not, whether my requirement is fulfilled in this application or not, and on top of it, whether it is coming in my budget or not. Yes or no? If some product, similar product is being sold for 100 rupees and the same product, similar product, I'm getting it for 10 rupees, I'd always prefer going to the cheapest one, right?
Yes.
Cheap and better. Maybe if they are giving you the same quality, same s- lesser price, I'll always prefer going to that.
Understood. So,
Mm,
Venu, one more. I have two questions. Will you
mm.
be also helping us with some integrations? I know you'll cover EC, but
Yeah.
integration with other
When
modules.
it comes to integration, so there are different things in integration. One is integrating success factors modules, like the modules of success factors. All of these modules like compensation, learning, recruiting, and all. Even these needs some kind of integration between Employee Central and the talent modules. The data has to flow from Employee Central to other modules and from other modules to Employee Central. So here we need the integration that is different. And outside the success factors application, now the data of success factors is to be sent to other applications. Now, if you're using SAP, you want to process the payroll in SAP. Now, you want to push the data from success factors to SAP, or if you're using Oracle Fusion or Oracle, okay, so you need to send the data from success factors to Oracle. And once the payroll is processed, once the process is completed, you need to push back or pull back the data from the third party application. There, you need some kind of integration tools. So we'll not be discussing anything on the integration because different customer uses different tools to integrate the data. Like some customers say, I want to use Delbumi, some say CPA, some say HANA Cloud integration, and so on. We will not be discussing about the integrations.
Okay. Venu, I come from an experienced background. I work,
Mm-hmm.
basically predominantly in telecom domain, many tools. So what has
Mm-hmm.
happened over a period of few years, some tools get faded. Okay, some tools get
Yes.
decommissioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I think about SAP, I know SAP is very stable because it's almost, it's 100 years old, and they have
Yeah.
been very stable in the market. But still, going with my experience, somewhere I have that little insecurity, because I like to update. I definitely like to upskill, in the same domain. For example, if you say success factor, I'm okay to update to multiple, going forward in the different modules. But when I have
Mm.
this questions of my past bitter experience, somewhere I feel that, instability, what happened. So can we expect the same stability with success factor in the long run?
Yes. So
Okay.
to give an example, see, initially when SAP has started, now we had very limited functionalities. Okay. So they have started SAP HR. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where you're storing the data, we are having modules like personal administration or org information, and then later they have developed time management, and then from that we have payroll. So with this, they have not stopped. They have now developed some more talent modules like recruiting, onboarding. So from
Mm-hmm.
SAP
Mm-hmm.
HR, they've moved to SAP HCM. They started calling it as HCM because all of the organization needs like these recruiting or appraisal systems or compensation. So all of this is available in SAP HR application. So we started calling it as SAP HCM, which is human capital management, because we have all
Yes.
of those talent modules included in the product. And then when the time changed, from the time changed to cloud computing, success factors, SAP bought success factors, and now we are using success factors, and we are calling it as human experience management. It is no more HCM. HCM is the old name for SAP or success factors. Now we are calling it as human experience management. It's all about how an employee experiences his life cycle in the
Mm-hmm.
organization. Okay. Now the trend is all about AI, artificial intelligence. So there are now AI tools being included into success factors application. So how best we can get the data from this get the data of employees displayed, or how best we can move the data from success factors to other system. So recruiting process, maybe if it were in the olden days, to hire a resource on the recruiting, like creating a position, converting that position to a requisition, so sourcing a candidate, interviewing, negotiating, and then onboarding and then hiring. It was taking maybe 15 days, 20 days, 1 month to hire an employee. Okay, so now because of the artificial intelligence, we have tools which are bringing up all of the information. Instead of doing all of these things in 1 month or 15 days, the process has been speeded up. Now we can do all of these things much lesser time, maybe a week or maybe a 10 days time, because we have that capability of fetching the data in seconds. You have, now let's say you have some 10,000 applications in your recruiting system, and you're searching for some role. No, artificial intelligence or these tools, the new tools, what they're doing is whatever position that is open that you're looking for, it gives you the applications which are closely matching your requirement. Okay. Now that earlier, to update some data in the system, it was taking a lot of time. Like you'll have to create a ticket with HR. Now HR understands your requirement and then they go update the data. They'll ask you to correct the data. Instead of doing all of these things, we have now AI tools. Now when you go ask the system, okay, so I want to update this data, it checks what are needed, if there are any approvals needed. Oh, it gets it and updated in the system within seconds. Okay, so SAP, because of the availability in the market, like it's there from last 100 years, and it is adopting the new technologies, new functionalities. There are many new modules which are available in SuccessFactors, which are not available in SAP HR. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead,
got it.
Sagar.
Thank you, Venu. That really answers a lot. My last question is, can I, if you don't mind, could you please, just show how the EC looks like on the screen? I know I could dig out from internet, but then if you could possibly show it, I'll be very glad with that.
Okay, so let me log in. So all of these things, what you see, these can be changed. Okay, now colors can be changed, themes can be changed, pictures can be changed, content can be changed, the actions can be changed. So this is the login page of SuccessFactors. Now you want to look at our chart. It is very easy to use. SuccessFactors application is very easy to use. Any action that you want to perform or any employee that you want to search, you have a global search bar. This is called global search bar, where you can go search for an employee, search for any action that you want to do. Let's say I want to search for an employee. Just type the name of the employee. It shows up all of these employees with that name. And when you mouse over, it shows some glimpse of that employee, like who is that employee, which location that employee is working in, or who is the manager of this employee, whether he or she is a manager. So it shows up some information. It's called quick card. Okay. Similarly, I want to do some action. Maybe I want to manage some position. Just go type. Okay, just 3 letters in a word. It shows you all of those probable actions related to the search. Like I've typed MANPOS, it shows up manage position. So I can go do that positions. Or I want to add new employee, just type add new employee. It shows up that action. In SAP, we have to remember a lot of T codes. You have PA30, PA20, PAPC00 underscore M40. There are a lot of transactions that you need to remember. We don't have to remember those transactions here. It is easy to use. So navigation is very easy. Look and feel is much better than any other product in the market.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Venu.
Yeah. Sagar, you had a question.
I think it dropped off from the meeting, Venu. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. How's the job market for? I
Job
know.
market is really booming up now again. because
Uh-huh.
of after that COVID, there was cut down in the jobs, but now there are many customers who are moving to the cloud computing applications after this COVID.
Okay.
So now I can see a lot of vacancies in the market.
Yeah, I've done some digging. More of is into EC rather, RCM RM onboarding. So,
See, every customer who goes with SuccessFactors, Employee Central is one mandatory module everybody needs. Now, whether I want to go with recruiting or not, that's up to me. Now, if I
mhm,
have, so much of, if I have a requirement of sourcing the candidates, then I might go with recruiting. If I am hiring only one person once in 3 months, or I don't need to spend on recruiting or other
mhm,
onboarding modules. But if I have my company is growing, I need recruiting or onboarding. Yes, I can go with recruiting onboarding.
got it.
So same with the other modules.
Okay, got it, Veena. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Any other doubts?
I have no doubts.
Yeah. Monica, Nomita.
Yeah, Uh, actually, I've told that I don't have any work experience, right?
Mm,
So, as a
mm.
fresher, how will be the market? Like, I can fetch a job with this course.
Frankly speaking, any technology, not only about success factors, any technology that you want to get in, people don't consider, the organization don't consider the freshers. There are companies who hires freshers, but that too from uh, college graduates. Okay, could be like your campus placements and so on. But if you have some kind of experience, or if you don't have any experience, you have a gap after your education, I would recommend you go with some experience. Okay, like a fake experience, at least fake experience. So don't apply as a fresher. See, so once you learn success factors or any module, any technology, you learn some technology, you don't apply as a fresher, because you have learned that application, you can do some things in the application, right? So
Yes, yes,
once you get into the organization, you'll see a lot of people, your colleagues, maybe you have applied as a fresher, you're hired as a fresher. There are very few companies who hire freshers also. Okay. Now, most of the companies, they look for the experienced candidate. So maybe you have applied as a fresher, you're hired. And similarly, you have some colleagues who are hired, who have learned success factors, but hired as experienced consultant. Okay, they'll be earning somewhere 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, or 25 lakhs per annum, and your package is like 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs. Maybe you both are doing the same kind of job. And somewhere, maybe after 6 months or 1 year, you feel that yes, you should have applied as a experienced consultant, because you both are doing the similar job there, right?
yeah. And
See,
coming to the certificate,
no customer want to have the implementation done by a fresher. Everybody wants to have some experienced consultant or
experience.
experienced guy, handling their system.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And coming to the certification part, once we do the certification, it is valid for lifetime, or we are going to do it again and again for.
There are some delta search takers which are available, like SuccessFactors upgrades the product every 6 months. Once in 6 months, you will see some new functionalities being introduced into the product. When these releases happens in the system, SuccessFactors recommends you to have that knowledge. Now, maybe some things which were not available earlier are now available in the product. As a consultant, you should be aware of that. When you're explaining your customer, you should tell them that yes, this is available now, right? So
Yes.
you need to upgrade yourself with the new releases. So there is a small examination kind of thing for these release features. We call them as a deltas or stay current. To keep up your certification active, you need to do this delta exams.
Okay.
Certification mainly contains 80 questions. You need to spend 3 hours and then clear your certification. But for deltas, it is only 5 questions or 6 questions depending on that release.
Depending on the upgrade done.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Okay then. So we'll stop it here. Get in touch with your Krishna or Pullared, whomever you're coordinating with. So we'll be starting this session soon, probably next week. Okay. The timings would be announced, like mostly it would be either 7:30 in the morning or 7 p.m. in the night. You can check on this and then show your interest. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Venu.
thank
Nice
you.
talking to you. Nice
Thank you.
session.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, all. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sure.
Okay. So today is the first session. So let's quickly start. I hope all of you have attended the demo, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me quickly share my screen. I hope all of you can see my screen. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me start the recording as well. Yeah, I think recording is on. Okay. So let's get into today's topic. Okay, as I said earlier, the first 4 topics or first 4 days would be completely of theoretical part. Like we'll be discussing a few things of success factors or few things which are related to success factors, not maybe into success factors, but other areas like what is certification, how do you do the certification, what is launchpad, what do you do with the launchpad access, what is partner edge, what do we do with the partner edge, who will get partner edge access, what are the roles and responsibilities, what should be the system landscape. So all of these things we'll be discussing in our first 4 sessions, which is like purely theoretical part. And the from 4th session onwards, we'll be starting off with the practical part. We'll be getting into system, we'll start configuring the system as per customer needs. We'll be discussing various scenarios and we'll know how to configure those scenarios in the system. That we will see from the 5th session onwards. Okay, and it continues for till 24 or 25th session. Okay, you all will be getting access from starting from 5th session onwards. You'll be getting access like whenever you need. We'll be granting that access because the access would be for 1 month. Okay, so today's topic or the first topic is on the roles and responsibilities of a success factors consultant. Roles and responsibilities of a success factors consultant. Like in SAP we have different roles. Now why I'm relating success factors with SAP? Because success factors is also a product of SAP. Okay, now SAP has got multiple roles. Within SAP HCM, we have different roles like a functional consultant who configures, who gets the requirements from the customer and configures the system. And secondly, we have ABAP consultant or a technical consultant who would be customizing the product. Any custom requirements that are to be customized, then technical consultant or the ABAPer would be doing that. And then we have a separate workflow consultant who looks after all the approvals part. A separate consultant who will be looking after the ESS, MSS part, employee self-service and the manager self-service part. Then separate consultant, either from GRC or a security consultant who would be looking after all of the permissions. Okay, who should have access to ESS, who should have access to configuration, what configuration access is to be given. So all of these are done by a separate consultant there in SAP. We have these many roles in SAP, but we don't have these roles in SuccessFactors. We only have one role called a functional consultant or a consultant who looks after configuration, who looks after customizing, who looks after security part, who looks after the workflows part. So all of these are covered by one consultant called functional consultant. So that's the only role that we have. So the roles can be different, like a trainee consultant or an intern or a junior consultant or a consultant, lead consultant or a senior consultant. So these may differ from company to company, but all of them would be doing the same job. Okay, so that's a consultant role. And then what are the responsibilities of this consultant? Now this consultant should be handling the end-to-end implementation. End-to-end implementation. When I say end-to-end implementation, I'll be giving you what are the stages of the project that we have in SuccessFactors. We'll be discussing that in the coming sessions. Okay, so what will a consultant do? Consultant will go sit with the customer, understand the requirements of the customer, what customer want to have in the system. We configure it, we test it, we deploy it to the customer. So this is your implementation. In SF, there are basically two types of project. One is implementation project. First one is the implementation project. Implementation where customer doesn't have any SuccessFactors product with them. And we will be implementing from scratch. That means we understand, we as a consultant understand. Now, let's look at the terms first before going there. I'm discussing about consultants, customer, implementation partner, etc. Right? Who is a consultant? Consultant is someone who configures the system. Who configures the system. Whose system? It's the customers. Who are customers? The end users who are going to use the SuccessFactors application. Okay. And then who is the implementation partner? The authorized company who can implement SuccessFactors for customers. And the consultants are hired by implementation partner. Here the examples are your Deloitte, Accenture, IBM, Capgemini, and so on. These are examples of implementation partners. And customer is someone who wants to have SuccessFactors for their employees. All the end users who are using SuccessFactors are customers. And then consultants are the ones who are hired by implementation partner who will be configuring a system for customers is a consultant. Now, can anybody become an implementation partner? Yes, anybody can become an implementation partner, but you need to go get license from SAP, or you need to subscribe. You need to get license from SAP to implement SuccessFactors for the customer. You should have that license. Without having license, you cannot go and configure or hire consultants and configure the customer's application. Okay, it is similar to your KFC or McDonald's. What does KFC and McDonald's do? They sell the products of KFC. Now, if you have to purchase a McDonald's burger or KFC, okay, KFC product, we'll have to go to our nearest dealer or nearest authorized dealer, the franchisee, where we get these products. We don't get these products anywhere else in the market. Okay, only you have license to sell them because they have taken franchises. They must have paid some amount as part of franchisee and they are selling their products, right? It is similar to your success factors application also. Implementation partners, first they'll have to go get license to implement success factors for customer. Once they have the license, they can start implementing success factors for customers. Who configures or who does the implementation? It is the consultants, success factors consultants, who would be implementing it for the customer. So we have basically two types of projects. One is implementation and second is support. One good thing in success factors is every customer who is using success factors as their HR product, okay, should have the support consultants working with them. Why do they need support consultants? We'll discuss that. So firstly, the implementation. As discussed, in implementation, first we'll have to go, consultants have to go sit with customers, understand their requirements, what is to be configured in the system. So SuccessFactors is a global application which has got a lot of features in it. Now, all of these functionalities like hire, transfer, all of these are available in the product, but all of these may not be required for each and every customer. Some customers may say that we don't have the process of transfer. We don't transfer employee to any department or location. Once employee is assigned with one department, employee stays in that department till the termination, till the end of their job in that organization. Or someone may say that we don't have suspensions, we don't suspend our employees. So we may not need these functionalities for those customers, right? So we'll enable only which are required functionalities for that customer. So that is what we do in implementation. We configure the system as per customer need. We'll have to first understand how or what configurations we have to do. What if something is not available in standard application? If customer says, I want to have this field in personal information, but SuccessFactors doesn't provide that information. What can we do? So we can also customize. We can add a custom field or we can add a custom portlet or a block. To some extent, we can customize the product. So we'll be customizing. What if we don't know have the option of customizations also? We need to follow the best practices. We should make them understand how system works, what can be used, okay, and to what extent we can customize the product. So we get all the requirements, we configure it, we does the testing, and then we hand over the system to customer. That is the end-to-end implementation. That's called the end-to-end implementation, starting from scratch to delivering the SuccessFactors application to the customer. That's your implementation. And then second is the support. As I said, every customer who uses SuccessFactors application for their employees, HRM product, there should be some support team who would be working with them. So what will support consultant do? Support, we generally have incident management. Support, we have incident management. If customer has got any issue with the product, it could be the configuration issue, it could be the knowledge gap, it could be the analysis. So we'll have to, a customer would be raising a ticket or raising an incident. That's called incident management, which consultant has to go and look at that issue and fix that issue. That's incident management. And then we have change management. Every customer want to have some changes in the system. Let's say the approval process was defined for transfer. Now they want to have similar process for promotion as well. So that's a change in the system. Earlier there are 2 levels of approvals for transfer. Now they want to have 3 levels. They want to add one more level of approval. So that's a change in the product. So we understand, again, it is similar to your implementation. Go understand the requirement from the customer and configure that change in the system. And third is release. F, release management. Every 6 months, SuccessFactors updates their product or upgrades their product. Like any other application, SuccessFactors also needs some kind of upgrades. And this upgrades happens once in 6 months. So upgrades may contain new features, new functionalities, enhancements, bug fixes. All of these will be included in the release management. So before the release functionalities gets updated in the system, we should understand what are those release features. Okay, and then configure them in the system or explain it to the customer that this is the change what we have or what is available after this release. So first you understand what are those new release functionalities, and then you explain it to the customer saying that earlier we were using this screen. Now we'll be using a different screen, or no, the functionality is changed. This is improved, or no, this is fixed. Now going forward, we can use this functionality also. So we can explain all of these things to customer. That's on the release. So these comes under your support. So these are the roles and responsibilities of a success factors consultant in any project. Any doubts here?
No, sir.
No doubts. Okay. So the second topic for today is the landscape. How many of you know what is the landscape? What is the landscape? Anybody who has experience into SAP should know.
No.
You don't know what is the landscape?
Way the
System
systems are, set up, like the dev
the
pro-
architecture of
production
a
or
system.
testing. Yeah.
This is called the architecture of a system. Okay. The sequence of implementations that we do, or the sequence of systems that we implement for a customer, is called the system landscape. It's called system landscape. Now, when the customer gives us a requirement, we'll not be doing directly in the customer system, the end user system. There are multiple systems in which we do the implementation. Okay, so the basic setup for any customer is dev, which is development, quality, and then production. This is the minimum setup which is required for all the customers across the globe. Success factors, when you subscribe for a success factors product, they give you these three systems: dev, quality, and production. Dev, quality, and production. So what do we do in each of these systems? First system is the development system. As soon as your customer gives some requirement, we go and do that configuration in the development system. Now, all of those configurations, what we have done may not work. Now, customer has given you a requirement saying that, now I want system to update this data automatically when somebody hires an employee. Now, the configuration what you have done may not work. So what you'll do, you'll try it in a different way. For some customers, let's say we have a customer for whom we are implementing, and the customer has given us some requirement. So we have configured everything. So there are 100 configurations which we have done, but out of those 100 configurations, maybe there are only 50 or 60 configurations which are working correctly. And what is required for your customer? So only those 50 or 60 configurations you will be moving it to quality. Those configurations which are working fine are moved to next level. because the other configuration, the 40 other configurations, you have done some R&D and they are not working. So you have tried it differently and those configurations working. So all those configurations which are working fine in development, will move it to quality system. Quality, or this is also called a test system, where you will be doing the extensive testing. Now here in the development also you do a testing. That testing is called unit testing. Everything that you configure, now your customer said, I want to have a custom field in personal information. Okay, so you have configured that custom field. Okay, so that is showing up. So that you will test it in development, which is unit testing. Then you move it to quality system, and here your customer would be testing the system, whether the requirement that they have given is working fine or not. In the quality system, the custom field what you have configured, they will test. Now they may ask you, or they may say that no, this is not working as expected. You have configured a custom field, that is fine, but this field is allowing more than this field is not allowing me more than 100 characters. I want this field to allow up to 400 characters or 500 characters. So that's a change, or that's a configuration again which we'll have to do. So your customer would be testing it, and this testing you call it UAT, user acceptance testing. Your customer will be testing all the requirements that they have given. Any changes that are to be done, again you will have to do it in development, move it to quality. Once your customer gives you sign off, yes, everything, whatever the configurations or whatever requirements that we have given, you have configured and it is working fine. Now we want this to be used by all the users. So you move the configurations to production system for all the end users. Here, all the end users will be logging in. You will not do any kind of testing in production. Here, in the development system, only consultants will log in. Whereas in quality, along with the consultants, some of the end users who has given you the requirement, usually the IT team or a HR team. Your HR says, your HR is given as a requirement saying that every time you do a transfer, I want to have 2 levels of approval. First level, it should go to manager, and second level, it should go to HR manager for approval. So that's the process. You have configured that process in development system, and you have done some kind of testing and it is working fine. You move it to quality. When your some of the end users, consultants plus business users, we call them business users who has given you the requirement, they will be testing it, whether it is triggering the 2 levels of approval or not. Let's say first level, manager himself or herself is initiating the transfer. Where should it go? The first level is actually manager, but manager is initiating the request. Where should it go? It should directly go to HR manager. Now they will be testing all of these scenarios, whether the field is allowing to input more than 100 characters or 200 characters or 300 characters, or whether the field is mandatory or not. Is it a required field or optional field? Whether the field is showing for everybody or not, what values it is accepting. So all of these things they will be testing here in quality system. And once we get the sign off from the customer saying that yes, all those things what we have given you are configured in the system and system is ready to use, we move all of those configurations to production system, and all the end users, if you have 20,000 users in the organization, all of those 20,000 users would be logging into production system. They don't know about quality, they don't know about dev. They only know about the actual system what they log in. Maybe some business users knows that we have a quality system. Okay, and consultant knows that we have total of 3 systems: dev, quality, and production. Now this is the minimum setup or the basic setup required for all the customers across the globe. When you subscribe for a SuccessFactors application, you get these 3 systems. Additionally, some customers may say that we want to have some additional systems like pre-production, or I want to have separate system called test system, or I want to have separate system called project system. So it is up to the customer. It is up to the customer. These three are standard and these are customers. Now, some customers you may see with 4 systems. Some customers you will see with 5 systems. Some customers you will see with 6 systems. Now, whatever name that they give it to that system, some may call it as pre-production, some may call it as just a test system, some may call it as project system, or some may call it as some X system. Whatever name that you give, but what is the purpose of that system? Let's say the pre-production. All the data that I have in production system, I want to copy it into one system called pre-production, where if something goes wrong in the production system, I will go and replicate that scenario in the pre-production system. Because I have the same data as production in pre-production. Now, you will not have all the data in the quality and development. Here, if you have 10,000 users or 20,000 users, you'll see all the 20,000 users data in production system. Maybe in quality you don't see all of that data. Maybe only some data exists, 1,000 users or 2,000 users data exist in the system. Development, you have only have 10 users or 20 users in the system. But in the production system, you have all the data, all the real-time data. This data is replicated, or this data is copied onto pre-production system. Just in case if you want to replicate some issue, you can do it in the pre-production system. Now, different systems can have different purposes. Maybe quality, I want users to test it in the quality system, but if I want to test the system, I will do it in test system. Maybe consultants will use test system to do that. And once it is ready, they'll move it to quality for customers testing. Any other projects that are to be done, let's say customer, we have implemented Employee Central, now they want to do performance management. So instead of doing directly in the development, first they want to see how performance management works in SuccessFactors. Okay, so you first show them in the project system. If it works fine, then do it in the quality or in production or in dev. So the additional systems that are required, this purely depends on customer to customer. Some customers may only go with these 3. Some customers go with 4, 5, 6. So any additional system that they want to have, they want to pay additional amount, because all of this occupies some space in the data center or some space in the servers. And these servers are called data centers. Like whatever data that we store here in dev, quality or production, all of this data gets stored somewhere in the cloud servers, and these cloud servers are called data centers. We have these data centers in each region. So we have data center in US, we have data center in UK, we have data center in Australia, New Zealand, and so on. There are multiple data centers across the globe. So all of the customers who are using SuccessFactors in that region, let's say, and these data centers are numbered as DC04, DC08, DC55, and so on. They're numbered as 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 25, 55, and so on, depending on the region. Let's say DC04 is a data center which is there in the US. Okay, and I have 100 customers. Customer 1, customer 2, customer 3, and so on. So I have these customers in data center 04. All of these customers are in data center 04. That means all of this customers' data goes and sits in this data center called DC04. Because they are in the same region, all this customers' data lies in data center 04. Okay. Now, each of these systems, the dev, quality, and production, or each of these is, or the data center is split into 2 parts. Your DC04 is split into two parts called production and preview. Again, DC404, you have DC04 production and DC04 preview. Each region, the data center is split into two parts, DC04 preview and DC04 production. Similarly, if I have the DC08, so you'll have DC08 production, DC08 preview. DC55, DC55 production, DC55 preview. So every region, the data center is split into two parts. Here, let's say this customer has got dev, quality, and production. Every customer, all of these customers will have dev, quality, and production. Additionally, now customer 1 has got pre-production. Customer 3 has got test system. Customer 5 or 6 has got project system. And customer 8 has got pre-production and test system. Customer 11 has got projects, pre-production, and test. And 12 has got test and projects. So different customers has got different requirement, right? So depending on the customer's requirement, they may only go with 3 systems or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, whatever it is. Okay, now DC4, because DC4 is split into production and preview, and this is the basic setup for everyone, right? Always one system, minimum of one system should be in preview. So usually this would be in preview and this would be in production. This would be in production. Production system will always be in production data center. Quality system will be in the preview data center. Production or dev system would be in production data center. Production data center, preview data center, and production data center. Now this can be in anything, like this can be in preview, this can be in production, this can be in preview. Anything can happen. This can be in preview or production. This can be in preview or production. This can be in preview or production. But this should always be in production data center. This should always be in preview data center, and this should always be in production data center. Now customers may say that I want to have dev in preview data center. Yes, maybe we can configure that. And here quality becomes production data center. But usual setup is your quality will always be in preview and production and dev will be in production data center. Is that clear? I'll tell you why we have this setup. Any doubt so far?
No.
Yes. No. Now, why they have split the data center into two parts, DC4 and DC4, DC4 production and DC4 preview, or DC8 preview and DC8 production. Your success factor application is installed in your data center. When you access success factors, okay, how do we access success factors application? It is through URL, right? And when you type the URL, it navigates to one of these data center, either production or preview, and it fetches the data. So it is either production or preview. Now, why they have split this data center is because of the release management. This is because of release management. Every 6 months, SuccessFactors upgrades the product, their product. It could be the bug fixes, any issues that they have identified, they have fixed those issues. And it could be a new functionalities which are added in the product, or it could be the improvements that are done in the system. So all of this comes in the release management. And when the release happens, they cannot directly update in the production system where all the end users are using the system. Production system is a system where all the end users logs in and they use it on their daily basis. It has got all real-time data, and release cannot happen directly in production system. When the release happens, now there might be some feature which gets impacted the existing configuration. So the release always happens in preview data center first. All the customers preview system. So if this is your preview, this gets updated in preview system. So all of these systems, you will see the release happening in these systems because they are preview systems. On a certain date, the release happens in the preview system. And after 1 month, you will have a time of 1 month, usually 30 days or 35 days or 28 days or 32, 33 days, close to 30 days. You'll have 1 month time. Once the release happens in preview system, it is the responsibility of the consultant log into the preview system and look at all of those changes what have come. If it is impacting existing processes, any of the processes, you'll have to understand what is that impact before it goes into the production system. Now, all of these release features may be going into production system after 1 month. So before that, should go analyze and see what are those new features. You explain the customer saying that these are the new features which we have in system after this release. And all of these features will be available in production after so and so date. So every 6 months, it updates in the preview data center first, and then in production data center after 1 month. So if you found some issue with these release features in the preview system, you can always go and check with SAP saying that, so hey, this is the functionality what was working fine before this release, and now after this release, because of some functionality, it is not working. What should we do? So your SAP may say that no, with this release, you may have to go change the configuration here, or because you have done the configuration in different way, it is impacting you. Or if SAP may sometimes may say that yes, if this is impacting the system, they will stop that release feature being moving into production system after 1 month. They will stop that particular functionality if they really feel that that's the issue with the system. So that's why we have a time gap of 1 month for the release to happen in the production system. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
Any doubts? Any doubts here? Okay, I'll take silence as no. Now, when it comes to a URL, every customer will have two URLs. Have two URLs. One for the production systems and another for the preview systems. So what if a customer has got total of 6 systems? Even if customer has got 6 systems, they'll still have only 2 URLs, production URL and preview URL. So how different is it then? So production system URL and preview system URL will have the company ID tagged to it. Now, if my URL says, no, it will look like this, performance manager dot successfactors.com, followed by your company ID. Every company will have a unique company ID, or every system will have a unique company ID. Dev will have a company ID, quality will have a company ID, production will have a company ID, project will have a company ID, pre-production test will have a unique ID. That ID can be a text or a number or combination of number and text, but it is unique. No two company IDs are same. Within this data center, if you have 100 customers with 1000 systems or no 150 systems, so all of those customers will have a different company ID. No customer ID is same. Your link URL of that production system followed by company ID. Now same thing here, you will see it as previous systems, you will see it as preview company ID or preview here some performance manager preview.successfactors.com. Okay, now all the customers of this particular region will have the same URL. Just to show you, let me log in. Close. You see here, this is the URL and company is equal to this one. Okay, a company is equal to this one. This is the URL, sales demo. This is a demo system. So you have sales demo.successfactors.eu. Login, company is equal to this one. This is the company ID. Similarly, your customer will also have a URL which says whether it is a preview or production. For production, you will not see anything, but for preview, you will see additional thing called preview and with the company ID. So each system will have a different company IDs. Got it? Now,
I have a quick doubt,
yeah, go ahead.
Venu. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so if a company is having three systems, then they have three company IDs
Yes, they will have three company IDs.
or only two IDs. Suppose they
No,
have
two
dev,
company.
QA,
No,
and
three
production.
IDs.
They have so
Three
generally
IDs.
speaking, every company has three IDs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So generally, every company has three IDs then. Okay.
yeah. Minimum of three IDs.
But how do we know that? Okay, yes, so but there is only two things like production DC and preview DC. Suppose if we are making any changes in if you want to make any changes in development, how do we know that whether we are connecting to dev or to production? Because
Yeah.
both look similar, right? Because both have similar
Yes,
URLs.
both have similar URL. Your preview will have a preview in the text. In the URL itself, you will see the preview and the company ID. Now let me give you an
Yeah,
example. If I'm working for
but the
one of the customer called Coca-Cola,
yeah,
okay, who has got
okay.
dev, quality, and production system. Okay. Now the company ID for dev is, let's say, Coke dev. This is my company ID. Coke QA. This is my company ID. And this is my company ID for production. So either you can identify with as a text. Now, because you're here, the company ID is in the alphabets. Now, sometimes you may see that it is C1 or C2 and C3. C3 is production, C2 is quality, and C1 is dev. Here in the company ID in the URL, you will see either C1 or C3. If it says the URL says C1, it is development. your URL says C3, it is production. Or if it is text, Coke Dev, this is my company ID. So with the company ID, you can make out whether it is a development system or a quality system or a production system. Okay. Or when you log into your system,
Got it. Yeah.
when you log into your
Good. Yeah.
system, now initially when you enter your URL, okay, on this screen itself, it shows you the logo here. So for each system, you'll have a different logo. So development logo, quality logo, and production logo. Now logo can be same, like it is a Coke logo only. Coke, and then hyphen you will see there dev. You incorporate the dev in the picture, logo picture, and then add it to that system. So that way, when you log into system, you will see that this is a different logo, or maybe you can identify with a different color or different text or different company ID. Always when you go and look for your version information, it shows what is the company ID to which you have logged in. Now this is the company ID that I have logged in. Okay. So every time after logging in also, you can see whether you have logged into dev or quality or production. Got it? Clear? Now here you will see it as Coke Dev or Coke QA. Now preview and production, it is easy. In the URL itself, you can see preview separately for preview. In production, you will not see anything. And also with the system ID, company ID. At the end, you will see the company ID. You see, this is my company ID. So this is my development ID. Okay. Or when you just type your URL, you can also differentiate different systems using the company logo here. Okay, this logo you can say as a dev logo. Or here you see, please log into Successfactors for this company ID. This is the company ID that I'm logging in. Now, this is a combination of text and number, or a number, or only text. For this system, it is both text and number. For maybe for my customer, it says it will show me as Coke Dev, or it will show me as Coke Quality, or it will show me as Coke Pre-Production or Coke Projects, because I have named it as that. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll stop it here for today. Okay. We'll continue tomorrow with the release management. Now we know that we have a different URLs for preview and different URL for production, and each data center is split into two parts, preview and production, because of the release. We talked that we discussed that it is because of the release management that these instances are, but these systems are divided. So what in release management, what do we do in release management? Okay, how the release features gets into each of these systems, that we'll see in tomorrow's session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. We'll connect back tomorrow.
Thank you.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So where are we? What were we discussing? Discussing about
URL, sir.
yeah. So number of systems that a customer can have. Okay. So yesterday we discussed that there are The basic setup contains 3 systems: dev, quality, and production. And then data center is split into 2 parts. So we have this split of all the systems in each of the data center. Okay. So minimum setup is 3 systems and maximum can be any number. Okay. So a customer can have either 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, any number of systems that you want to have. Now, the types of systems what we have. And we are calling it as a system, right? Now there are 2 types of system. One is the provisioning and second is called the instance. And it's called instance. Now, whatever system that we have been calling, we call it as an instance. And we also have another system called provisioning. So what are these 2 systems used for? First one is a provisioning. Now, provisioning can only logged in by a certified consultant. Only certified consultants can log into provisioning system, and anybody can log into instance. The end users or consultants can log into system. Now, end users cannot log into provisioning systems because they will not have any certification. Only the certified consultants can log into provisioning and do the configuration. Out of the total configuration, the 5 to 10% of configuration, or we can say 5% of the configuration is done in the provisioning system. But this 5% of configuration is required or mandatory to have before you go and do the configuration in the instance. Okay, so the provisioning system is very crucial, very important, because we always start our configurations in the provisioning system. Okay, so that's why when you're interviewed for SuccessFactors position, they will always ask you whether you have a certification or not. Now, when you say yes, then they'll proceed with the further round. Then if you say no, they might ask you to get the certification before you join any organization, or now they will say that we don't consider the consultants without certification, because certification is mandatory for doing the implementations, because there is some configuration which you will be doing in the provisioning, though it is only 5%, it is required, it is mandatory to do that configuration before you go and do the instance configuration. So anybody can do instance configuration. It all depends upon the permissions that are granted to users, the end users or a consultant. Okay, anybody can do the configuration, but only for provisioning you need a certified consultant. Clear on it?
Yes.
Yes, sure.
So that
I
means
have a quick doubt,
every
Venu.
system
I
that
have
you
a quick
have.
doubt.
Yes, go ahead.
So, okay. That was my question. Actually, you're coming to there. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if
So for
it's a
each and
provisioning
every,
in dev we
yes,
have provision and instance both, right? Each and every
yes,
system.
we have.
That was my doubt.
So you'll have dev provisioning,
Okay.
quality provisioning, production provisioning. Then you have dev instance, private instance, and prod instance. If you have additional systems, test provisioning, test instance. Okay, so here the basic configuration, basic setup. Now we don't do any configuration as such, but enable all the features that are required for our configuration. Let's say your customer want to use a global assignment feature. Global assignment is a feature which can be used for a customer who has their operations in multiple countries, and if they have policy of moving the employees between different countries. So that's called global assignment. Now we need to do a lot of configuration of global assignment, but before that, we'll have to first enable the global assignment. So you enable that in the provisioning system. You enable it in provisioning, the configuration screens are available in instance. You'll have to go and configure what fields you want to use, what fields are mandatory, what fields are optional, now how many fields you want to see, who should see. So all of those things you'll be doing it in the instance. But the feature is to be enabled in the provisioning. Okay, so all of the features are to be enabled in provisioning, then only you'll be able to do the configuration. Now, how do we log into provisioning? Provisioning will also have two URLs here. Same as your instance, you'll also see the provisioning URLs, two provisioning URLs. For production, one URL, and for preview provisioning, you'll have another URL. Okay, now why do we have this split of two, production and preview? Why systems are split into two? Because of the release management. Every 6 months, SuccessFactors releases the upgrades. They do the upgrades, and we call them call them 1H and 2H. 1H is first half of the year and 2H is second half of the year. First half of the year always happens in month of April, May, and second half happens in October, November. So April it happens in preview, May it happens in production, October it happens in preview, November it happens in the production. So usually you will have a time gap of 1 month. Only because of the release, they have split the systems into two parts called production and preview. So always when the release happens in preview first, and then it gets updated in the production. When it happens in the preview, when you log into preview system, you will see all new features, all additional new features. So whatever that release contains, whatever release features that contain, you will see them in the preview system. Let's say now the release has happened, second half release has happened. Okay, the production release is yet to happen. Production release is going to happen on 17th of November, this weekend. Okay, usually it happens in the weekends, Friday midnights and Saturday early hours. Be it in preview or in production, it always happens on Friday midnights and Saturday early hours. So the production release is going to happen this weekend. So now the preview release is there in preview for all of the customers. So whichever preview systems that you have, you can see those new changes. So what are those new changes? What comes in the release, and how will we know that what are those release functionalities? So we have different functionalities that gets updated in the release. So we were calling them as universal features and admin opt-ins. Earlier we were calling it as universal and admin opt-ins, but now in the recent release they have changed the naming of this to automatically on and then customer configured and contact enablement partner. Okay, and this is called provisioning opt-ins. This we were calling as provisioning opt-ins. Earlier, before 1H release, we were calling them as universal features, admin opt-ins, and provisioning opt-ins. Now they have changed the name to automatically on, customer configured, and contact enablement partner. Now, what are each of those? Firstly, the automatically on. Automatically on feature gets updated into the system on that day of release. Let's say my release is going to happen on 17th November. So 17th November, you will see some changes getting updated into the system. Customer configured, you need to do some configuration to see that change. Automatically on, you don't have to do anything. It gets automatically updated. But for customer configured, there are some features which are available in the system. You want to use them, you need to do some configuration. So that is customer configured. Or admin opt-ins. And then we also have provisioning opt-ins or contact enablement partner. For these changes, you will have to ask your partner, implementation partner. Implementation partner will be enabling that because they are related to provisioning. But who can log into provisioning? Only certified consultants. And certified consultants are associated with implementation partner. Only they can do it. Okay, so every release will contain these features automatically on customer configured and contact enablement partner. So how do we know what features are going to come? Okay, what are automatically on features, what are customer configured features, and what are contact enablement partners features? So all of this information is available for us in a portal called community.successfactors.com. This one, or community.sap.com/successfactors. So you need to log into community.successfactors.com, this portal. Scroll down, you will see information related to release, product release and roadmap information. Click on it. Product release and roadmap information. You will see here release schedule. Release schedule, if you see, view the upcoming planned preview and production releases. First half of 2023, preview on 28th April, production June 2nd. Second half, the current release, second half of 2023, preview 20th October and production 17th November. So last release happened in April, June, and this release is October and November. So after this release, they will update the dates for next year, first half of 2024 and second half of 2024. Okay, so what are the features that have come in this release? You'll find that information in What's New Viewer 2H available now. You go click on What's New Viewer. It shows up all of the release features here. There are around 399 entries. And this page is showing 25 entries. I want to see all of them. Just click on all the 399. Now these release features, this is for all of the modules, not only Employee Central. These are the 399 features are in all the modules. So if you want to see only Employee Central related, you can go just choose Employee Central related. Employee data. Now here product, you have Employee Central, and within Employee Central, you can choose. These are all modules: onboarding, compensation, learning, performance module, and so on. So within Employee Central, you have 101 features. And these 101 features, you can go and see enablement, customer configured, contact product support automatically on. This is contact product support or enablement partner. Customer configured, automatically on, product support, and contact specialist or customer service partner or account manager. Okay, this is contact product support. Earlier we were calling it as product. Okay, and then we also have SAP. For some features we may go and check with SAP, these ones. Okay, so there are 101 entries. Now not all customers uses all of these 101 entries. Within Employee Central, there are sub features related to Employee Central, like you have employee data related, global benefits which are not used by every customer, Employee Central payroll which is not used by every customer. Okay, compensation is used by some customers, company organization is used by some customers. So different customers uses different features. And if you are looking for the features related to that particular module within Employee Central, you can also select them. Okay, and you also have features related to Employee Central. Now these are 101 entries that we have. Out of these 101 entries, again, if you are looking only for automatically on or no customer configured, you can filter on them as well. These are all 2H 2023 related. Each of the release feature, Now let's say you have this feature, centralized services support integration. Any additional information you want to see, you can just click on see more. The title of the release feature, description of that release feature, which product is it, which module is it in, which feature is it, okay, is it general availability or only for some of them, any action that we need to take, okay. And where for some of the release features you may also see some demo. You see here for demo here, for these features there is also a demo. Okay, what is the demo? Just click on it. It shows up the video recording of that feature. So where to navigate? No, what is that change? This explains. No, this will not have any audio. It is just a small 30 seconds to 1 minute video, which explains you what is the change that they have done. If you go to this particular page, okay, this is highlighted. See, it explains what exactly is it and how do we see that change in the system. That is explained here. Okay, wherever you see the demo. The most important ones that we need to concentrate on are the automatically on features, because this gets updated in the system automatically for all customers across the globe. Customer configured, we have to explain the customer saying that these are the new features which have come in. If you want to enable, if you want us to enable, we'll go and configure them. But for automatically on, this gets automatically updated into the system because these are universal features. Okay. So any additional information you want to know about these features, you can click on see more. It explains you in detail if there is any configuration for features like customer configured. If there are any additional steps that needs to be followed, it will explain you what are those steps that we need to do. You see here customer configured, click on see more here. This is just a deprecation. Configuring the compensation structure, you need to follow this. Similarly, show you some customer configured, see more. It explains you in detail what is this feature all about and the configuration requirements. What we'll have to do. This feature can be enabled for each time period. To do this, go here, requesting on non-working days allowed, field to yes in relevant time type. And they have given the screenshot as well. What is changed? This one is changed. Planned working time, non-working day. Okay. How it looks now and how was it looking earlier? How it looked before and how it looks now. So all of this is explained in detail. Clear on release management? Any doubts here? Yes. No. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for confirming. Okay. Now that's on your release. So because of this release, so we have the systems split into the data center split into two parts, production and preview, because SuccessFactors system is installed in the data center, and when the data center gets updated, now it is one time for all of the customers across the globe. On the same date gets updated for all the customers. There is no provision of having the release getting stopped or release, no postponing for some customer. No. When they say the release is going to happen on this date, it happens for all the customers across the globe, irrespective of the region. When they say 17th of November for US customers, 17th of November for India customers and Australia or New Zealand customers, all the customers across the globe. Okay, so usually it happens on Friday midnights or Saturday early hours. That's why it says 20th is also Friday, 17th is a Friday, June 2nd is a Friday, or April 28th is a Friday. These dates vary every year. Sometimes early April and end of May, or mid of April and then mid or end of April, and then it goes to June first week. Okay, clear on releases?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll move to next topic. If you don't have any questions on release. Now, what is our role in the release management? So when the release happens, as a consultant, you should know what has come in that release. Maybe some features which are not available till now in system are available after this release. So as a consultant, you should always be updated with the release features. You should go through each and every release feature, because when implementing, maybe till now that feature was not available for customers, but now it is available in the system. So you should tell this customer that yes, this feature is available. We can do this in system now. So what we generally do after release, once the release happens in preview, we should go test each and every release feature. Test each release feature, universal, and then customer configured. If you feel that they are important, you can also go and test them, and also test each and every process. Like you hire an employee, you transfer an employee, you promote an employee, you terminate an employee. So general processes, you go and test whether the system is working fine or not. Now, sometimes it may happen that after the release, because of the new functionalities, maybe the existing functionalities may break. Okay, it may also happen. So that's why we need to test each and every process in the system, so that you are sure that there's nothing going to happen in the production system. Otherwise, what happens if there is a breakage, or if something happens to the hiring process or the transfer process, you will see that impacting in the production system. Okay, so always test every processes along with the new release features. You prepare a PPT, prepare a document. Can be a PPT, generally it is in PPTs. Okay, prepare a PPT or a Word document with explanation on each and every release feature. What is that feature? How is it impacting the customer? Okay, now whether how to see that feature in the system. So all of this in your document. Usually it is a PPT, PowerPoint presentation. Before it gets updated into the production system, we should educate customer, saying that these are the new features which are going to come in this release. Okay, and these are customer configured, these are automatically on. So all of these features you need to explain your customer. Next topic is on certification. Okay, now we know that certification is mandatory for every consultant. Now, if you want to do implementation for any customer, you need to have the certification. Why certification is required? Because you have the provisioning system which can only be logged in by a certified consultant. And every implementation, you will have to do some configuration or some setup in the provisioning before you do the instance setup. right? So that's the reason we should have the certification. And to do the certification, so who can do or how do we do certification? Anybody can do certification. Okay, so from where you can do certification, you need to log into a portal called training.sap.com/certification. This is the portal. Sometimes your implementation partner will be giving you access. And if you are not associated with implementation partner, you can also log into training.sap.com and do the certification. Okay, so let's see what do we have in certification. So when you log into training.sap.com, you have view SAP certifications. Now the Employee Central certification code is THR81. We have different codes for different modules. For Employee Central, it is THR81. And THR81 contains 80 multiple choice questions, 80 MCQs, and the pass percentage is 65%. Means you need to answer 52 questions correctly. Out of this 80 multiple choice questions, you need to answer 50 of them correctly. So in multiple choice also, on the multiple choice questions, some of the questions will have multiple answers. Some of the questions will have multiple answers. Like let's say if a question contains 4 answers, there are 4 options, and out of those 4 options, 2 options are correct. So you need to answer those 2 correctly. You need to answer those 2 correctly. There are no negative marks if you have answered only one partially correct. If your answer is partially correct, you will not get score for that. Okay. And this examination can be taken from anywhere. You don't have to visit any place. You can just take the certification from your home itself. Okay. All that you need is a webcam, a proper internet. Okay. Because why do we need a webcam is a proctor will be watching you throughout your examination, and the timing for examination is 3 hours. You can schedule your time and you'll have 3 hours to answer these 80 multiple choice questions. Okay, and the score, you will be getting your score immediately after you submit the certification. Okay, now it is whether you're passed or failed. If you have answered 52 and more correctly, you're passed. If you have answered less than 52, then you're failed. Okay, nowhere in your certification your marks are displayed, whether you're passed or failed. Okay, clear? I go to
Sir,
hmm,
how many years of education is mandatory for certification?
there's no education. It is
Actually,
not
I
linked to
heard,
your education.
no, sir. Actually, I heard that 16 years of education is mandatory.
No, see, now certificate for doing the certification, it will not ask you the basic qualification or your education anywhere while registering. But when you are being employed, there you might be asked. So how many years of education that you have? Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Mm.
Yeah. Now, if you go to training.sap.com/certification, you will see all of the available certifications here. These are all available certifications. These are all SAP related certification. Now search for THR81. This is your Employee Central certification. THR81. You see 2305. 23 is the year and 05 is the month. So every release, you will see a different question paper, and it will say the release as 2305 or 2311, 2405, 2411, and so on. That means the one what we have here, because the production release has not happened yet for this release 2H. Okay, once the production release happens, this will be updated to 2311. But as of now, it is 2305. So THR 81, we have 2305 version, SAP Certified Application Associate, Employee Central Core, 1H 2023. It is 1H 2023, and click on View Details. Okay, if you see here, examination contains 80 questions. Cutoff score is 64 percentage. I said 65, right? 64 percentage, but still it is 52 questions. And duration is 180 minutes. Again, within now, if you want to take up this certification, you have two options. One is CER 006. You need to purchase this subscription. One is CER 006 and second one is CER 001. So the difference is in CER 006 you get 6 attempts. Now this is in the INR because my country I have selected is India. So you can go and choose the country that you are in. Depending on the country, you will see the currency and you will see the times schedules. When you're scheduling the examination, you'll get to see the time zone, your times related to your time zone. Okay, slots related to your time zone. CER 006 costs you somewhere around 45,000 plus taxes, where you will be getting 6 attempts. You'll be getting 6 attempts. In this 6 attempts, if you have failed to clear certification in the first attempt, you can use second attempt. You fail in second attempt, you can use third attempt. So for one module, you can use maximum of 3 attempts. If you have passed the first attempt, in the first attempt, you can use second attempt for a different module. So you can do up to 6 different module certifications. Okay. Clear on CER 006 and 001. 001 costs you 18,000, where you will be getting only one option, one attempt. If you fail, you need to purchase second attempt. You passed, that's fine. Okay. Clear
Okay.
on certification?
Yes.
On the certification areas, so these are the areas. Approvals related or workflow related, you will get up to 10 questions, 12% of 80 questions, 12 into 896, that is up to 10 questions. HR transactions, like the events and event regions, transfers, promotions, terminations, hiring. So all of those things, 10%, 10 questions. And then you have employee data related, 12%, workflow configuration, 12%, event region, 12%, business rule, 8 to 12, generic objects, foundation objects, data models, and security. So we will be covering all of these areas in our training. Okay. You want to see some sample questions?
Yes.
Okay.
One
So
or two.
you can go click on view more, not one or two. I've given some set of questions. You can go and see that. Okay. So these are some of the guidelines for your examination, and then say continue. There are 5 questions. Okay. And the time is your 19 minutes or 20 minutes. Time remaining, you see 19 minutes, 50 seconds, 49 seconds, and so on. Which person object support country specific field? This has got 2 correct answers. There are 2 correct answers for this question. Okay. So, and you need to answer both of them. You need to answer both of them correctly. If you don't answer both of them correctly, then you'll not get score for this. Next, wherever you have only one answer, multiple choice, one answer, you'll see radio button. And if it is multiple answers, then it is check boxes. Customer would like to have employee class field from employee's job information back to available in performance forms. Which section do you configure? Okay. So I'm just randomly selecting some answers. What happens when you report a newly hired employee as no show? So there are 5 questions which I have to answer. On the job information element, where do you assign catch-all rule? Next. This has got 2 answers. What distinguishes one-to-many association from one-to-one? One-to-many displays second as a field in one-to-one association as separate section, this one and this one. Okay. And then submit. Once you submit, okay, there are some other set of 5 questions which will be coming. So you have this screenshot related. So these are scenario based questions. There are 5 scenario based questions also. So let me answer them. I'm just not checking any of the answers. I'm just randomly selecting the answers. Let's say submit. Immediately after submitting, you'll be getting your score. Okay. How much did you score? It is 7 out of 10, which is 70%. If it is 70%, you are pass. Less than 52, less than 64%, you are fail. Okay.
Yes.
That's on your certification. Any questions related to release and certification?
No way.
Okay. Now, when you do your certification, okay, now you can subscribe. Anybody can go and subscribe to this portal, training.sap.com. Then, while subscribing, you'll be giving your email ID, your personal email ID. Okay. So once you subscribe and once you do your certification, you'll be getting a S user ID. We call it S user ID, which will look like this. Okay, I'm giving an example. You'll be getting a S user ID on which you have your certification. And as soon as you join any organization, any implementation partner, you need to share your S user ID with them. Let's say I'm joining IBM today. Share your S user ID with them, saying this is my S user ID on which I have all my certifications. SAP, or sorry, implementation partner would be converting this S user ID into their S user ID. They will give you one more S user ID. Let's say this is one. This is called a partner ID. This is your partner ID. Going forward, you can use this as user ID to log into any of the portals like community.successfactors or no launchpad or any other portal. Okay. And after 1 year, 1 or 2 years, if I'm leaving IBM and joining some other organization, let's say I'm joining Deloitte. Deloitte will give you another S user ID. Now you need to share this ID, IBM's S user ID with Deloitte, and ask them to transfer all your certifications to the current employment into this S user ID. Or Deloitte will be sharing you this ID. Okay. You can use this ID to log into any portal. Clear? So every time you move or you shift your job, you need to share your S user ID with them so that they transfer all of your certifications to the current employment. Okay. Now, once you do your certification, let's say the current version of certification, what it is showing is 1H 2023 or it is showing as 2305, right? THR 81 2305 is the version. Now, once you do the certification in this version, and after the release happens, now the release, current version of release is 2H 2023, right? Which is 2311. There are some new features which have come in, but here when you have written the, when you did your certification, you have answered all of those with the 2305 version. So as soon as the production release happens, SuccessFactors would be releasing, or SuccessFactors would be recommending you to do a delta or a stay current. There is one more exam called delta or stay current. Okay, you need to take up this exam as well. This will contain only 5 or 6 or maximum of 10 questions in it. And you can take any number of times. You can take this exam any number of times. But only thing is you'll have to answer all of them correctly. Those 5 questions or 6 questions, depending on the release, they'll be giving you some questions. And this can be taken up in a portal called Learning Hub. Usually, this is given by your implementation partner. Your company will be giving you the Learning Hub access. You'll have to log into Learning Hub. Like if you're working with Deloitte, Deloitte will give you Learning Hub. You log into Learning Hub and clear your stay current or delta. Once you do your stay current delta, your certification of 2305 will be updated to 2311. So every release, after every release, you should go and do your deltas. Next release would be 1H 2024, which is again 2405. You go do your delta after 2405. Your certificate will be updated to 2405. Let's say if you have not done your delta, you have not cleared your delta, this delta, your certification will be lapsed. It would be expired. You will have to redo your certification in 2405 if you have not cleared your stay currents or deltas. Earlier we were calling it as stay current delta. We are now calling it as stay current. Clear?
Yes, sure.
Any doubts here on certification and stay currents?
No.
Okay, so all of us, all the aspirants who want to get into SuccessFactors need to do your certification mandatorily in training.sap.com certification, depending on the timing. Like if I go and no, if I want to do the certification today, the version what I have to do is 1H 2023, and immediately after doing my certification in the next month or maybe by end of this month, the stay current will be available. You'll have time till Feb end to clear your deltas. Okay, usually the
One more question.
hmm.
So initially, after completion of the course, we have to apply for the jobs. So is it mandatory for certification before applying the job, and we will do that certification after getting a job?
So usually what I recommend is, now after taking up the course, okay, attend your interviews. Okay, if somebody asks
Okay.
you whether if you have certification, tell them that you have certification.
Okay.
Okay, so there's no way that they can check whether you are really certified or not. But before
Okay.
joining the implementation partner, you need to clear your certification. Without
Okay.
certification, you cannot join them. because immediately after joining, you should go and ask them for provisioning access,
Okay.
customers provisioning access. And if you don't have certification, then you will not be able to get provisioning access.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
While requesting for provisioning access, they will see whether you have certification or not. So that's
Okay.
why before joining any implementation partner, you should have the active certification. When I say active, if you have done your certification and there is a delta which is available, you should clear that delta. So usually second half of delta you should clear before Feb, and the first half delta you should clear before August.
Okay.
Okay, you'll have enough time. Now you can also take this Learning Hub access, but it is expensive, not recommended, because every implementation partner will be giving you the access. Okay, because see, getting certified is your responsibility. When you join any organization, you should have certification. That's mandatory. But after joining the implementation partner, it is their responsibility to keep your certification active. If you don't have active certification, you will not be placed in a project because you will not be able to do provisioning setup. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So
Sir,
we'll stop. Yeah. Stop it here for today. I'll take any questions if you have.
sir, if we don't clear one delta, also the certificate will be lapsed.
Yes. Your certificate will
Okay.
expire.
Okay, sir.
Whatever version you have. If you have 2305, you have to clear 2311. It gets updated
Mm.
to 2311. Then later, after 2311, you need to do 2405 after the month
So
of May, June.
it is better to
Mm.
have certification before just before joining any or
Yes,
you said like
yes,
implementation project.
yes.
Okay, sir.
Venu,
Hmm.
Venu, if you can go up little bit, can you? I just want to see the instance and what's called instance. Yeah,
Provisioning.
just provisioning. Yeah. See, in the release management, the
Hmm.
purview is called universal, and now it's called
Hmm.
automatically on, and
Yes.
production changes is called admin option. Is it called
No, no, no,
admin option?
no. This is not about this. I'll just put it here.
Okay.
Universal. Most of the features are instance related. Our features are
Oh,
instance. Okay.
okay.
Automatically
Okay.
on features are available for every customer.
Okay.
Okay. Admin opt-in, it will be available, but you need to do some configuration.
Okay.
Okay. And provisioning opt-ins, there are some features which they may enable it in provisioning also. Maybe you'll have to enable or disable. Okay. So for those settings, we need to contact product support.
Okay. So this universal is normally done in purview, right? And admin option is done in instance
No,
of the.
every features, all of these features you will see both in preview and production. It is just the timing. Now
Okay. Okay.
see here,
Okay.
if I go here and see the product release,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of the release features will happen in preview systems on 20th October. Same features
Okay.
will get updated in production system on 17th November. All of them automatically
Okay.
on customer configured, production support, all of them.
Okay. Okay. And instance. Can you please go back to the Excel sheet?
Yeah.
Okay. Universal. Uh, universal automatically on. So that just the names have changed from universal to automatically on, right? That's
Yes,
what the naming
yes,
convention is changed now.
yes, yes.
Admin option is called customer config. And so So this all this universal admin option and provision option is available in purview, and again the same thing is available in production.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because you put those two the names here, I was confused. That's why.
Hmm.
That's it. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll stop it here for today, and we'll continue tomorrow with some more theoretical
Just quickly,
stuff. Hmm.
Venu. So just
Hmm.
quickly, Venu. If at all, if I'm a consultant, most of my work will be in instance,
Yes.
doing release management and configuration, like 95%
No.
of my work.
It
Okay.
depends upon the type of project that you're in. We discussed that there are two types of projects: implementation and support. If it is
Yeah,
implementation, you will always be starting with provisioning settings, and then the
yeah,
configuration in the instances. And then you have to test it, move all of your configurations to quality. Testing is done by your customer. Customer agrees, sign off the testing, and then you'll move all your configurations to production.
yeah.
That's your job, implementation. If it is a support, if you are in
Okay,
support role, support
okay,
project, then you'll have to handle all of the tickets that your customer creates. You'll have to take up any
yeah,
changes that your customer is requesting, and you'll also look after the
yeah.
release management. Does that mean that release management
Oh,
implementation consultant doesn't have to look at release management? No. Even you are in implementation, you'll have to go and see the release management features.
yeah. Yeah, obviously,
You're
every year
you're
we
applying,
have tax
yeah.
changes in Australia. I'm working in live customer, so I know that. So every year we have tax laws or superannuation changes, or
Mhm.
fringe benefit tax changes, or
Yep.
maternity leave changes, time in leave changes. So many changes will be there in different aspects. We keep changing it in HCM system. We implement the support packs. Maybe same thing we do here. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Venu.
Yeah. Thank you all. Have a great day. We'll catch up tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.